Hello, welcome to the Perception Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Casey Zellers, and today we are hopefully going to change your perception on things that you thought you already knew.
The goal is to perform in every single country and state.
Every country.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a lot of them.
It's true. I think it just really set me up for success for being like, I am going to live on my own, but I'm not going to live a traditional life because I want to constantly be traveling and moving from point A to point B.
Yeah.
I think most of my friends at this point in time are just so used to being like, well, let us know when you're in the area. Just trying to be very vigilant when auditioning, vigilant about praying and making sure that I'm focused on His will and not my will.
Is there ever a time where you're just like, man, I'm kind of sick of this crap right now?
Yes, actually.
Hello, welcome to the Perception Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Casey Zellers, and today we are hopefully going to change your perception on things that you thought you already knew. I kind of did that a little fun and interesting today, didn't I?
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Got to keep people on their toes, you know. The intro's always got to be something new and exciting, you know.
It's true.
Even though I do read it the same way over and over again.
Take two. Do it again.
Hello, welcome to the Perception Podcast. Welcome to the show. All right.
There we go.
So if you couldn't tell today, one of my good friends is here today. She's oh my gosh, we've worked together before. We've done, I mean, you name it. We've gone back and forth.
It's true.
And now you're here in Indy for
Kokomo.
work. Well, yes, you are here in Kokomo doing the show, but you are here in Indy doing work, and I'm excited to have you back in Indy. We get to hang out a little bit. So today we're going to talk about traveling while acting. So Joanna Ferbrache, please go ahead. Ferbrache. Sorry, it's February, not February.
Exactly.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Joanna Ferbrache.
And what do you do?
Travel around acting. You name the place, I've probably been there. Haven't performed. The goal is to perform in every single country and state.
Every country.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a lot of them.
It's true. But
190, I think.
Cool. Well, I got my work cut out for me. This is why I need to get on lots of tours, because then I just get to bop around everywhere and then I'll hit them all up.
Yeah.
But out of states, I think I've performed in 42 states.
42 states out of 50. So, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Just got 8 left.
Close.
What are those 8 left you got?
I have the Dakotas.
Okay.
I have...
North and south or east and west? No.
Interesting.
All right, so those two.
Yeah, New Hampshire. I don't think I performed in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Waka waka. Well, I got Alaska and Hawaii. Hawaii was a new one last year.
Okay.
I did that one.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
those three we'll start with.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Dakotas are like the first ones on my bucket list that I need to hit up.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll get those pretty soon.
Gotcha. So go ahead and just tell me how you first really kind of got into acting. You seem all cozied up and comfy.
It's
so
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acting. So I started out really with music. My mom got me started with piano because I really wanted to learn flute as a kid.
Okay.
And the only way that I could learn flute is if I learned piano first. So from piano performance, I then went into singing in a choir and singing at my church. And then when I think I was 9 or 10, my church did this Christmas pageant, and I got to play. I was given the role of a shepherd. And at first I was just like, I want to play an angel. Like, the angels get to wear cooler costumes. They look prettier. And here I am, a shepherd with all the boys. Dumb. Did not
Did you
like
have to
it.
wear the fake beard?
No, I got to be a female shepherd. But I still
okay.
I had to be with all the gross boys.
It would be a
so-
shepherdess. Ooh.
That's true.
I don't know.
I think
don't
my
know if
script
that's
just
the
still
actual-
said shepherd, though, like shepherd number 2 or something like
Yeah.
And so I remember going up to my director and I was like, excuse me, can I please not be a shepherd and be an angel instead? And she was like, we can make you an angel. However, you will have no lines. And I was like, just kidding. I'll stay a shepherd. Because as a shepherd, I had like 4 lines and like 2 singing
So
solos.
did you see the amount of lines as like sort of like star power
I
a
think
little bit?
so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, I am a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when all of a sudden I like started getting into acting. I
Hmm.
hit a bit of an awkward period after that where I got super shy and was all of a sudden like people, um they were scary.
Just became a recluse. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I know a lot of people can't picture me as like super shy.
I don't. The whole time I've known you, you've been very bubbly, very, very out there, and very
Yeah,
personable.
a little crazy.
Yeah.
Um
I don't want to say crazy, but well, borderline. But
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. But then when I was in 8th grade, that's when I started getting back into theater
Hmm.
and really just kind of kicked it off running and was in a bunch of different shows,
Hmm.
both at yeah, we had some at church and we had some in my homeschool community. And then there was another little Christian group I was a part of, so I got to do a lot of theater.
Did you try to aspire for it professionally while you were still young, or were you still just kind of,
Nah, I was just like, this is fun.
oh, just
This
doing
is
it for
cool.
fun? And
Yeah, no,
yeah.
professionally didn't happen. Well, actually, I didn't even think about it professionally until you reach being a senior in high school and people start asking you the dreaded question of,
What are you
what do you
gonna
want to,
do?
yeah, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And I was like,
I'm 18.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. And
Yeah.
so, it wasn't until people started making assumptions that I was going to go into music, which I was still doing music, but okay, be perfectly honest, I hate theory.
Mm,
And if you study music, you have to do
just you have to study theory.
yeah, a lot of it, and ugh.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, thank you. But I had no idea what I wanted to do, and then the only thing I could think of that I wanted to do was to act, and
Mm,
so it kind of just seemed like the only thing that I don't know that I not that I could do, but that I just had a desire to do.
yeah. Yeah. So
Hmm.
you're doing a lot of theater acting. When did because I've known you mostly through film, our
Yeah.
film work together.
Hmm.
So when did film really kind of come into play for you?
My first film was when it was actually part of the theater group that I was in when I was in high school,
Hmm.
and we made a film. Oh heavens, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. All I remember it had something to do with toothpaste, and
Crest.
yeah, it was great.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out the first toothpaste brand that came to mind.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. I'll think about it as soon as we're done.
Yeah, and then it'll come to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll call cut, and I'll be like, I
There you
know.
go.
But that was like my first introduction to film.
Hmm.
And then my sister was really getting into film. She was doing lots of just little fun projects. Now, I remember one film that we did, and that was called The Fish Cracker Detectives.
Okay.
And so most people call fish crackers goldfish, but we call them the cool name.
It's goldfish.
You're wrong, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
here to change your perception.
that's the name of the
Look
podcast.
what I did.
Crazy. Uh, but we had fish crackers that disappeared, and we had to go on the hunt for them. And we found our pug eating them. It was great. So our pug got a little debut into the movie world as well.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah.
But it was like through that that just slowly started building into like, oh, filmmaking is fun too,
Hmm.
and I don't have to be in Hollywood to do it. Like I can do it with my friends or
Hmm.
I can do it professionally in smaller communities. Like St. Louis was I think St. Louis was actually the first place I really started doing filmmaking.
Okay.
And then from there, it's just been meeting people, finding things on Facebook, Actors Access, Backstage, like a bunch of different sites.
Hmm.
And then slowly just kind of building a network to now at the point where I do a lot of films throughout. And it's a lot about like who you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of who you know and who knows you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Because I've had some people reach out to me who I'm like, I have I have no idea who you are.
Yeah,
But
same.
yeah.
I've had a couple of people be like, "Hey, want you in this thing?" And like I'll look at their profile before I
Mhm.
respond and be like, "All right, yeah, cool. They're a local filmmaker. How do you know me?
Yeah.
Like, how did I come across your page?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
But it's also kind of cool, like seeing who knows who, and then
yeah.
them other people recommending you, or
Hmm.
people just watching your audition and being like, you're cast,
Hmm.
not because of really what you can do, a little bit, but also because I see that you know this person and this person. I
Hmm.
asked them about you, and they gave me a
Yeah,
good review, and I was just like, great.
yeah.
So,
Got a few recommendations one time because one of my good friends, uh, he was originally tied to the project for something, but then
mhm.
he was just like, "Yeah, I can't do it." And then he recommended me, and he said like I was the first person that he recommended.
Oh, nice.
We worked on a project together. It's the only project we ever worked on together. Well, actually, no, it was the second, but it was the first time that we actually like interacted,
Mhm.
which was a lot of fun. And the director went to him and trusted him because he'd worked with him before, and he's like, who do I get?" And he's like, "Oh, you want to try this guy?" Um, and I don't know about you, but whenever I have other people do that for me, especially in a very competitive industry, it's very like, yeah, I can trust that person a
Mhm.
lot because they are recommending me for
Yeah.
work that they do. So yeah, no, I don't know if you feel the same way about people recommending you for work or.
No, when people recommend me for work, it makes me feel very special,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, you do like me,
Yeah,
because like, excuse me, it's so easy to get into your head and
yeah,
all of a sudden think like, oh, the world's against me, everybody hates me, I didn't get this role, or blah blah blah.
yeah.
Um, and so like any little bit of joy and encouragement that you can
Hmm.
latch onto,
Yeah.
I feel like I just grab it. I'm just like, yay!
Yay.
Thank you, God. I needed this. And it's just such a huge blessing, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, this is almost like someone thanking me
Hmm.
for either friendship or for a good experience working with me, and then they're
Yeah.
giving a recommendation. It's just like, it's very
Thank
touching.
you. Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you ever, because I do this all the
So
time,
sorry.
but do you ever do this thing where after your audition, you're like rereading to yourself, or you're kind of saying it over and over again, and then you're like, "That's how I should have said the line."
All the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many times like I'll do an audition,
Hmm.
and then when it's a video audition, I'll then rewatch and I'm like, "Ugh, you fool. Like how are you doing that?"
So stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I've started doing, specifically with video auditions, because obviously in-person auditions, you have one go, and then you just have to say bye, 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 and walk away. And
Just in
that's,
sync your
yeah.
way out of the room.
Uh, but I have to do it all the time, where I feel like in-person auditions is where I'm like, I just can't think about it.
Yeah.
The audition was my performance,
Hmm.
and I have to let it go.
Yeah.
Listen to Elsa. Uh,
Yeah. One of the tools that one of my friends actually gave me, because I told him I was struggling with it, and he's
mhm.
another good acting buddy, and he was like, just do the best that you can, and just perform as though you already have the role. The
Yep.
worst that can happen then is you get no, but you can go out there like, yeah, all right, I did my best.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And it's also that one opportunity to make that character live the way you would make it live.
Hmm.
And so getting to be like, this is my moment on the stage for this character, and then after that, it's like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
They called cut, and the end of the show run happened, whatever you want to look at it. Uh, and then it's what's difficult. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I feel like callbacks is when it gets more challenging, because once I get a callback, I have more hope that I'm getting the role.
I actually have less hope. I
Really?
do.
Ah, I wish. Uh, no, I get a call back and immediately I'm just like, oh, now I really want it. And then
Yeah.
if I get a second call back or an interview or whatever the next step is, immediately I'm like, must have. And I just get more like possessive of this role or
Ooh.
whatever it is.
Okay.
Um, because I'm getting another step
Hmm.
into the mix. One audition, most of the time I'm just like, all right, and this audition is the only time I will ever read this script in my entire life,
Yeah.
and then I can walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to know your experience then, um, for you and I who have acted both theater and film. Um, we kind of know like I guess you could say, objective differences between theater and film.
Right, right.
But what would you say are some of your like personal differences that you find are tricky from theater acting to film?
What do I find challenging, basically?
Yeah.
Um,
Because theater, I mean, it's a lot more open. Film is a
yeah.
lot smaller, and we kind of already know that that's one of the more objective things. But
Right,
is it
right.
tricky for you to go from big to small sometimes, or?
I don't think so. I think the challenge I would see with theater is you have to memorize so much more, and you have to really go with the flow. If you mess up on stage, you just keep going, and you just have to let it live in that moment. While with film, I feel like the challenging thing for me sometimes is focusing, because I feel like with theater, with theater, you have to already like have a fourth wall up, and you're used to ignoring the audience. You pause if they're laughing, but otherwise you just kind of keep going, and you live this character's life from the moment the curtain opens to the very end, and you're going through this series of time. While with film, you might jump into the middle of a movie and be like, all right, now we're going to shoot this scene that we haven't shot all the beginning stuff before. The
Mm-hmm.
camera's like this close to your face, and you're having to super focus. There, you have to put up a fourth wall, but that fourth wall is more like this than it is like way out there. And
Yeah,
so I feel like that can be that is often a challenge for me that I had to learn how to work with, and learn how to
hmm
kind of just really ignore the camera, even if it's like right here.
right there in your face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but going from big to small, I think it's easy because with film again, it's like right up there when you're acting with somebody. Sometimes they're even closer than normal life is.
hmm
So I don't necessarily want to be flailing my arms and big facial expressions because they're so close that I know that they can see it.
hmm
But in theater, I'm trying to make sure the person all the way in the back can see every gesture I'm doing, because most likely they can't see my facial expressions
Right.
perfectly. So I feel like it just kind of naturally comes with the territory for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have a preference?
Not at all.
No, really?
No. I find that when I'm doing film, I'm like, oh, I miss doing my theater stuff. And then when I'm doing theater, I'm like, oh, I miss doing my film stuff. So if I had my way, I'd be doing both of them all the time
Yeah.
at the same time, because they're both just so fun and so unique.
hmm
Same for like voiceover and music and
Yeah,
puppets. Like all of it is just such a different
really.
experience.
Puppets.
I love puppets.
Are you a ventriloquist?
No,
Okay.
no, that'd be cool. The coolest puppet I gotta do, yeah, I wish. The coolest puppet I gotta do was I think it's called Bunraku puppetry. It
Bunraku?
Bunraku, yeah.
Okay.
And the way we did it, there might be other ways, but is a three-person puppet. And so I was the feet, and I had to like do the little
Oh,
walking,
yeah,
someone's the
yeah.
body, and then someone's the head. And you have to work together as a team to do this dance to make the puppet come to
Yeah,
life.
really work together and communicate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool, and it's a great workout, let me tell
Yeah.
you. Just squatting there and be like, "Here we go.
Yeah.
Next 5 minutes."
Golly. Yeah, I struggle with a wall sit after about 5 minutes. I don't know if I could do that all day.
It's challenging,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kick my shoes off because
I know,
you got me
it's
feeling cozy
so
right now. So
comfy.
I think it's
Also, I'm wearing these awesome Christmas socks.
Oh, I have Christmas socks. I should have worn
Yeah.
one. This is probably the most cozy episode that I've done right now. Yeah. I
Yay!
think this is actually the first time I've ever worn shorts on the show too.
Wow,
Yeah.
scandalous.
I know. I didn't want people to be distracted by the carpet I have on my legs, but
Yeah,
we'll
it's
move
okay.
past that. So kind of break it down for me. When did you
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I hope that makes the cut. Um
Me too.
Really kind of just break it down for me as to how you got your first, um, I guess, really big traveling gig then, and what that sort of looked like, and how you kind of had to, I don't know, leave home to go
Mm.
do that.
Oh, haha. Actually, for a second I was like, what was
Because you
mine?
were probably doing like mostly like what, community theater around this time, or
Okay, so do you want the long story or the short story?
we've got time.
Okay, cool, cool. A long story it is. So when I was graduating high school and needed to find a college,
Hmm.
I had the option to stay in Missouri where my parents were
Okay.
and to study there, or I got accepted in a school in Pennsylvania. And I was like, I think I need to go to Pennsylvania because I need to step out of my parents' house and be an adult.
Mm.
And so that was kind of, honestly, I feel like God setting up the path for me to be the traveler I am.
Okay.
Um, that and then I also grew up doing a lot of traveling with my parents for my dad's job.
Hmm.
So both of those kind of things already kind of set me up for success with a lot of traveling stuff.
Sure.
Um, so when my first big traveling gig was I was just about to graduate college and I'm submitting for everything and anything, and I end up booking a job in Alaska. And so I found myself needing to either graduate early or having to turn down the job because it would require me to, I think I had to graduate like a week and a half early.
Mm.
And so I ended up talking to all my professors and they let me do all my finals a week early.
That
Um,
must have been stressful because you're already having to study for those finals, and now
yeah,
you got
and
to do it earlier than
exactly.
expected.
And not also getting to finish the classes. So I was just like,
Yeah.
well, I would have read about this, but speed read it now.
Yeah.
But I passed with flying colors. All A's. Yay. But who cares? Um didn't realize that till after college.
After
That it's
college,
like
yeah.
doesn't really matter. Sorry, that was side tangent. Uh but Alaska really just I mean I gotta go somewhere so far away from home. I've been used to living like 14 hours away from home with college, and now all of a sudden I was like, you have to fly to get to me, kind of a thing. And I think it just really set me up for success for being like, I am going to live on my own, but I'm not going to live a traditional life because I want to constantly be traveling and moving from point A to point B.
Hmm.
And all the gigs I was booking were also like five months maximum gig, and so not really enough to own an apartment
Hmm.
or really rent much. And so I was like, I'm just gonna keep going from place to place. A lot of at the beginning, with the exception of Alaska, I ended up finding people who lived in the area of wherever I got the gig, and then I would live with them. I'd be their adopted child for a couple months, and then I move somewhere else, and then I'd be
Yeah.
their adopted child for a couple months.
Hmm.
And it just kind of, I don't know, it honestly just kind of happened. Um, and if I would have looked up, if I would have been trying to figure out what my life would look like when I was in college, it was not this. I don't know what I thought my life would look like post college, but I did not expect to be a person who who's constantly traveling around and has never owned or rented an apartment like a normal human being. I'm normally have housing that's provided by a company or am finding someone who lives in the area
Mm.
and then getting to getting to live in that area wherever I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a nomad or
Yeah.
more of a traveler?
Probably more of a nomad.
Okay.
Yeah, because when people ask me like where I'm from, I'm like, what do I say? I don't
Ray
know.
Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, do you want to know where I was born? Do you want to know where I lived in high school? Do you want to know where? What do you want to
Yeah.
know? And I don't like even in so Missouri is where I spent high school and middle school.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's the place I've lived the most, which is maybe like 10 years.
Yeah.
I want to say it's about 10 years, maybe a little longer. And otherwise, it's like constantly bopping from place to place, but no place feels like home. Home is wherever I get jobs. Home is wherever um, people are that I love. And if I don't know someone there, I will know somebody there and I'm going to make a friend.
Yeah.
And so that place will be home, and I know it will be. Like last year, at the beginning of the year, I booked a gig out in Seattle, and I didn't know anybody in Seattle. I
Yeah.
was like, where are we going? I don't know. And I ended up reaching out to the theater because I needed housing. And so
Mhm.
they got me situated with our music director. Didn't know her at all or anything like
Sure.
that. Actually, even as we were driving to Washington, I didn't know for sure if I was going to have a place to stay.
Yeah.
And I called the music director because we wanted to have like a little conversations to see will we be a good fit for me to live with her for a couple months.
Okay. Just
Um,
kind of feeling the all out, just general vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And thankfully, thankfully it worked out because otherwise I would have showed up in Seattle and been like, I got nowhere to live. Whoa. But it was such a great experience, and now
Mhm.
that family, like not just the music director, but her family, they're my family. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a part of them. I feel very welcomed. Washington feels like a home, but I don't have the home.
Mhm.
They're all just I have hundreds and probably hundreds of homes at this point in time. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's just great, just kind of bopping around.
Yeah.
And when people give me the question of like, do you ever want to settle down? The answer right now
That
is
was literally going to be my
oh,
next question. Yeah. Have you ever considered maybe settling down?
no,
No, really.
no. I and it's because no place is home. Like a place to me, home is not a place. Home
Home is where you make it.
Yeah, exactly. And home is where the heart is. So wherever I am, like right now, home is this lovely little chair, and just being able to enjoy myself here. Um, but it's like it's wherever I'm at. Like I was talking, had a conversation with a friend, and we were just talking about like hotels whenever you go there.
Hmm.
And a lot of folks will be like, I'm at a hotel, I'm here, and I'll be like, I'm home, and it will just kind of become home, even though I'm only there for like 2 weeks,
Mm.
a week, 2 days. It is my home for that period of time,
Yeah, yeah.
and then wherever I go next. So my home right now is company housing,
Hmm.
but this is where my home is
Gotcha.
right now. Hmm.
Gotcha. So, do you think that that's difficult for other people,
What do you mean?
like friends or family, to kind of always be like, "Well, we want you to come home
Yeah.
to here." Like, do you ever find that to be challenging at all, or?
It definitely has its moments. When I was abroad for 2 years
Mm.
during COVID. And I was supposed to have had some time with my family. They were going to fly out to me, but unfortunately, COVID made it a little difficult.
Yeah,
Uh,
it altered the timeline.
it did. It
Yeah,
was a very
yeah.
strange time.
And I don't know if we can still call it COVID, so let's call it the
Sure.
Backstreet Boys World Tour for now.
I like
So
that.
that's so during the
Just
Backstreet Boys World Tour,
I think you should have figured out a simpler, simpler way to phrase it.
probably.
What is that? Backstreet Boys,
T.
BSBWT.
Yeah.
BSBWT.
Yeah, so during that, what were you um I mean, what was life like for you since you were abroad? Like, because you weren't in America, were you in a country that had more restrictions?
Um, yeah, yes, I think so, but
Okay.
it's hard for me to say more restrictions because I don't know America
Okay.
BSBWT. I only know South Korea version of it. So to me,
Oh, okay.
it was it was I guess the new normal. And so actually when I was coming back to America, that's when I was like, people aren't wearing masks. Because in Korea, like you have to.
You had to wear a mask,
And
yeah.
also people were wearing masks before COVID happened,
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the air pollution was not very good. So I think it was during the summer
Uh,
months, a
okay.
lot of us wear masks regularly because that was you could breathe better. Um, s-
Okay.
so it was just kind of it was for us normal.
Yeah.
There were other things, obviously. We didn't have the whole toilet paper incident. That was
Yeah, I don't know what that was
yeah.
about. People freaked out over toilet paper. They should have been freaking out over like multivitamins.
Uh,
That's what's gonna defend you.
yeah, but there's definitely I had a very different experience than other people did, but I can't say it was there were more restrictions or less because I can't compare. I wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
But back to the question of just like family and such, it was very challenging being far away from my family and also not being allowed to visit or them to visit me.
Well, and it also probably the communication was probably also difficult too, because you're
Time.
13, 14 hours ahead, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on if you guys had done daylight savings time or not, because we didn't
Yeah.
have daylight savings time.
Yeah. No, nobody else does.
Yeah, it's true. Uh, so it was challenging, but you also got used to it. Like it became normal.
Yeah.
I think it was just 2 years without seeing my family. Oh,
Yeah.
boy, that was tough.
Yeah.
But like a lot, my family, from my understanding, they all understand and they're also kind of used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say in more recent years, especially since getting back from Korea,
Mm-hmm.
family has become a higher priority.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, it was very much just like if I see my family, I see my family. If I don't, I'll see them again soon.
Sure.
Now it's very much just like, no, I want to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for this year, I got to see my family from January to about, I think I got to see them until late March.
Okay.
And so getting to be with my family for that period of time was really great. I got to do a bunch of gigs
Mm-hmm.
locally for them. But I got to have family time.
Yeah.
And then also get Christmas with them and being this in my old age. It's my mature years. I'm very much like just prioritizing family
Yeah.
more so than I was.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I
Gotcha.
think most of my friends at this point in time are just so used to being like, well, let us know when you're in the area and we'll see you in person.
Yeah.
I will say the gig right now has
Yeah.
been a huge blessing because
Yeah.
I'm so much more local to a lot of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this rarely happens, especially being here for so long.
Yeah.
I get to see Chicago friends, Indy friends,
Yeah.
Michigan friends.
Ohio friends. Yeah.
And family. And I'm just like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember whenever you texted me and were like, yeah, I'm back in India. I was like, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen you, 3 times already this year?
Probably.
That's a record.
That's a record for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So throughout all of that, I'm curious to know about like how your spiritual life was also kind of looking, because I mean you've already kind of kind of made it a little obvious that you're Christian and everything, but what was your kind of walk through all this sort of stuff, and I guess really what is ultimately your testimony through all this? Like what did you learn spiritually most about yourself and your relationship with God throughout all that?
You ask a lot of
That is
questions.
a loaded
I know, I was
question.
like, which one to go to first? First off, not easy being a Christian and not, this is going to sound like a pessimistic statement, but it's not. But like not belonging anywhere, it's very challenging because I don't have a core group of believers who are always there for me. I remember reading this book that was talking about how like you should find Christian brothers and sisters who are like with you and able to just have these conversations with you in person. So there's a lot more accountability
Mm-hmm.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the author was talking about how it's good to be able to have your phone call friends and being able to talk to other people about different things going on in your life, but
Yeah.
it's so important to have those in-person relationships. And I'm like, I know, but how? Like,
But how?
yeah, like I'll have them for 5 months or however long I'm in an area, and then my in-person friend group is different. I mean, even where I'm at right now, I had a different group of friends in April through June, and then the show changed, which meant that some of the cast changed. And so now from June to October, I have a different core group of friends who are with me all the time. And then from November will be a couple different clusters of different friends. December will be a different cluster of different friends.
Yeah.
Um, and so it does make it very challenging accountability wise.
Okay.
I'd say that as for growing, a lot of it is trying to find a church in my area who it's like that I can connect to.
One you
And
can trust.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. And I would say that I do have a couple churches that I would say these are my churches. Uh, and the only problem is one happens to be in Washington State,
Hmm.
one is in Connecticut. And I think those are the ones I'd be like, these are my churches. Yeah, I got the East Coast and the West Coast. We're still working on many other places.
Yeah.
Uh, but they're kind of inaccessible in person. Like I can listen to podcasts, and I do specifically for the Washington one. I have a church kind of in Missouri, uh, but that becomes very challenging, and so it becomes very much just like, all right, God, please help
Guide
me.
me to a good church. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Guide me to a good church, but also help me to be like accountable with God and be able to just have him as my accountability partner.
Hmm.
Um, which I would say is not ideal. I think that's why God gave us other humans to,
Connection is very important. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that, yeah, it's very challenging within that. Uh, I'm also a very stubborn person, so it does have its benefits. And one of them is I'm like, I will follow Jesus. I will, no matter how much like the world seems against me. And obviously, I hate to break it to you, but I'm human.
Mm.
So I do make mistakes sometimes, a lot of times. Uh,
Uh,
yeah. So
Shame.
I
I
know.
thought you were perfect. I guess
Practically
not.
perfect in
Get
every
off my show.
way. All
No.
right, bye.
Yeah. No.
Gets up and leaves. Um, where am I going? What was I saying?
You were talking about.
Practically, I threw
Um.
myself off by quoting Mary Poppins.
You were talking about having God as an accountability partner.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so it's just like I don't know. It's just very challenging. Oh no, I was talking about stubbornness, being stubborn.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And so within like being stubborn, even though I'm not alone, but there are definitely times where I might feel alone,
Hmm.
specifically spiritually, that it's like I know God is with me, and I'm like, there's nothing that can make me think otherwise, because again, stubbornness has a blessing sometimes.
Yeah.
And I am very, very grateful that like he gives us his word that I can bring with me everywhere I go,
Hmm.
and been able to read that and grow through that. There's so much access with media.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's hard to find the right media,
Correct.
but finding podcasts from the church that I was able to go to when I was in Washington, and sometimes even I needed to get back into this, but there was a Bible study that was online that I was trying to go
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of it is just having people that I can talk to on the phone who I'm like, all right, we're able to talk about Jesus together. And it was such a huge blessing.
Yeah.
And then just spending alone time with God.
Hmm.
Um, which definitely important. Have learned a lot about myself.
What does
Um,
that typically look like for you?
what?
Spending alone time with God.
My ideal is to be out in nature
Same.
when there's no bugs. That's the hard time because the bugs. I feel like the bugs are just like little demons that are trying to distract me. Um,
Yeah.
they're
100%. Like I'll be walking. There are some times where I will actually like be on a walk and just kind of just like s- almost looking like a crazy person. It looks maybe like I'm talking to myself, but
yeah.
really I feel like I'm talking to God in those moments.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, so yeah, so this, God, this, get rid of this thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just, yeah,
Distraction. Get
yeah.
away from me,
And
Satan.
then I'm like, where was I in my prayer? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I love like if I can't just like be outside and reading my Bible
Hmm.
or something like that, then I love running and praying. I feel like it's so
I
fun.
pray while I run, just be like, get me through
No, I don't know.
it.
It's so relaxing. Like it's just so therapeutic for me to run because it gets. I don't know if you know it, but I have a lot of energy a lot of times.
Oh boy.
I know, crazy. Don't have me on caffeine. It's dangerous. Uh, but being able to just like be in movement and I like to talk when I run already. So being able to then all of a sudden pray,
Yeah.
I'm sure just like you, people are like, well, what's that crazy lady doing? Like she's just moving her lips and no sounds coming out,
Yeah.
and what's she doing?
Yeah.
Uh, but it's really great to just focus on God and be able to converse with him and really be able to build that relationship with him through me being able to pray or just sitting and reading my Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think as a Christian actor, do you think it's important for you, whenever it comes to like deciding what roles you have?
Mm.
Because I don't know, maybe you were like me, where like whenever you're younger, you kind of just have your eyes set on like fame, fortune, and like the Oscar and all that sort of stuff. But then, like, as I've kind of gotten older and deeper into my faith, it's a lot more, like, I'm a lot more like, okay, like, what role am I
Mm.
playing? And is this something that not only is going to please God, but is it a role that God wants me to actually do and be a part
Mm.
of? Do you ever kind of find yourself in that sort of mindset at all, where you really are very, I wouldn't say like hyper focused, but you're just a lot more intentional with the roles that you get,
I
whether it be stage or film?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily particularly roles. I do have certain standards that are like if I see this box, n- um, like nudity is, for instance, is something I will not do.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I see it in the project, specifically if my character's doing it, I don't think I've been approached with one where someone else's character had it, but mine didn't. And if that happened, then it would be very much just like praying about it. But I do know my standard is I won't do any nude roles.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's right now, I think that's the real make it or break it. The other thing I really, I've been able to talk to a director once about this. There was a project where I had to say Jesus in an inappropriate way,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't comfortable with that. And so that was one where I was like, I don't want to turn down this project, but I don't know if I might need to.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully the director was super great and
Was able to work around it with you. Yeah.
mhm. But those are like my two standards.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the exact role, I don't necessarily, as of yet, have been thinking too much about like what is my character saying or what
Mm-hmm.
is this project saying. I do like to think about the overall project and what is it teaching?
Mm.
If it's not teaching anything good or if there's nothing,
Really kind of coming from it. Yeah.
yeah, then I do question it. I will be honest. I still sometimes will like probably push it and be like, "Ah, I think I can see this being taught."
That's the human side of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, but a lot of it is just like praying that God puts me where he wants me to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was one time I auditioned for a project, and it was a project that at first I thought was totally fine.
Sure.
Come to find out when I was doing the callback that it did have nudity, and my character would have to do nudity. And I wasn't comfortable with it, but I was like, Lord, I'm so far into this audition process. I don't know if I have the strength to say no. And that was the first time I prayed for God to not give me the role because I was like, if I get the role,
Really.
I think I'd say yes, and I don't want to say yes. Which is why I try if I know there's nudity or something that I'm like, I'm not comfortable doing this, just don't audition it. Don't audition.
Yeah.
Uh, but in this case, I was a little further down the road than I realized.
Sure.
Um, and so when I got the rejection email, Hallelujah chorus was playing. I was the happiest I've ever been for a
you,
rejection email.
you imagine that's the huge like juxtaposition thing of an actor. Yes, you didn't want me for the role. Yes,
Not hired.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, honestly, I feel like God just puts me where I need to be.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't want me to be somewhere, my prayer is that he doesn't put me there.
Yeah.
Uh, and just trying to be very vigilant when auditioning, vigilant about praying and making sure that I'm focused on his will and not my will.
Correct.
A big focus of mine this year has been memorizing some scripture verses. And I'll be honest, I don't have the scripture perfectly memorized, but the gist of it is, and it says that this happened. There's at least four verses that talk about this, and I'm sure there's many, many more.
Sure.
But it talks about
Okay.
how humans make plans, but God establishes the steps. And that
Yep.
has been
I
becoming
know
my
what
theme.
verses you're talking about,
There's
but
like
yeah,
4 or
I
5 of
can't
them in
remember them
Proverbs, and
myself.
then it's
Yeah.
just like, here it is. You
Yeah.
make plans, God establishes steps.
Yeah.
You make plans, but God establishes. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You kind of get humbled a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
by humbled a little bit, I mean humbled a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was actually talking about it with a friend of mine, I think within this week, and saying how there are times that I'm just like, man, God, can't I just be the one who like establishes my steps because I know what I want? And then all of a sudden I'm like,
Nope.
do I though?
Never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do what you were doing. Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the amount of times I in places I ended up, I would never have pictured myself at that place, or at least probably not enjoying myself in that
Sure.
place. And then all of a sudden it ends up being a dream role or dream job or just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of want to bring it back to being a nomad a little bit, if
Okay,
you
yeah.
will. Because a lot of people probably don't get this, but whenever you're traveling from place to place, it's a lot of hotel rooms, it's a
Hmm.
lot of airplanes, it's a lot of cars, it's a lot of, y- you name it, fast food restaurants and all that sort of stuff too. Does it just ever get exhausting? Because I mean, you've already kind of said like you have a pretty good endurance about this stuff and you
Hmm.
really enjoy it, but is there ever a time where you're just like, man, I'm kind of sick of this crap right now?
Yes, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's kind of turned into a bit of a rhythm where uh I like to be like 1 year I'll be like, this is my year where I'm just like bopping around every couple weeks, every month or so.
Hmm.
And then the following year I'll be like, I just want to be a little not steady is not the right word, but I want to be in
Stable?
e- not stable. I guess I just want to be in one location for longer than like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I want to feel like I have a home longer. And so
Mm,
actually having that belonging and really getting to know the area.
sure.
Uh, and then all of a sudden after that, I'll be like, the following year, I'll be like, all right, I just want to travel around. I don't really want to stay in one spot.
Yeah.
This year is the year of staying in one spot for a while.
Gotcha.
I am getting a little antsy, and it is now only month April, May, June, July, August,
September.
six months in, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready for November when I get to bop around for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I'll be excited to come back to the area. But
Yeah.
uh, that which is part of the reason why I'm like, I don't think I could stay somewhere because I would love it for 6 months, and then I'd be like, time to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Uh, but so right now, my thought is next year will probably be a bopping around,
Yeah.
because this year has been the one home base for like 8 months will be how long I'll be in this area.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd
Mhm.
be a great travel guide.
Travel guide?
Yeah.
Ooh,
And he would be
sounds
a great travel
cool.
guide. Be
I
like, all right, Joe, so I just landed in Milwaukee. Tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Like, go to this restaurant, go there. You'd be great.
Dude, speaking of Milwaukee, if you ever go there,
Are
there
you
is
serious? I
yeah.
just threw that out.
Yeah, yeah, but speaking of Milwaukee,
Okay.
there is a place, and I think these exist in a lot of spots, but one of those like destruction rooms where you get to like break
Oh,
everything.
like rage rooms. Yeah.
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 I want to do that so badly.
Yeah. There is one in Indy. Yep. Yep.
People on the podcast are gonna be like, "What kind of sound was that?" Sorry, listeners. I make weird sounds.
It's a very fun show for the audio listeners right now, is what it is. They're talking about taking their shoes off and wearing shorts. What's going on?
What would you your carpet on your legs?
Yeah. Um, so then how would you today,
Hmm.
because we're all about changing perceptions,
Yeah.
how would you change the perception of a traveling actor? Because kind of like what I was saying, a lot of people really don't kind of maybe understand that there's just a lot that really goes into like, yes, I'm traveling almost all the time. Like I'm living out of a suitcase
Hmm.
or a car,
Yeah.
especially to young actors who may not know
Hmm.
um, all the sort of stuff that you've kind of already experienced and whatnot. So how would you change that perception, or maybe even give some pointers to some of those young actors today.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, going to when we were talking about home,
Mm-hmm.
I can say I belong nowhere, or I can also say I belong everywhere. A really cool thing about
Glass half full,
traveling.
glass half empty.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
like that.
And then having that perception of just like I'm going to make friends wherever I am. For instance, this year even, I went to a mud run, and I'm a
Yeah.
social person. I like to go with people, but I couldn't find anybody who like wanted to go on this
Mm-hmm.
mud run with me who was available. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make friends. Guess what I did?
Made friends.
I did.
Okay.
And it was so much fun. Like I all of a sudden, and now I feel like they're my buddies,
Mm-hmm.
even though I met them in line at the volunteer station and we became friends and got to do the mud run together.
Yeah.
And so any place I go to, instead of it being like looking at the fears of the unknown and the fears of will I meet anybody? Will anybody like me? Instead it's like I'm going to go here and I'm going to like people.
Mm.
And then I don't really focus so much on what will they think of me, because I know I'm already going to like people and
Sure.
I'm going to want to meet people. And so having an excitement for the unknown versus a fear of it,
Mm-hmm.
I think is a really great ideal to have when you're traveling around, whether
Yeah.
it's acting or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Just living in the joy and the excitement versus in the fear and the I mean, mystery, whether it's positive or negative, like just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you have any travel tips?
Travel
Yeah.
tips. Flying sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually don't mind flying. I've never had a bad flight ever.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Flying itself is great. It's just the lack of predictability. Predictability. There we go.
There you
I can talk. I know English.
go. Our word's good.
Yeah. English like me.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, a lot of it is just kind of be prepared to be flexible,
Mm.
especially if you're using public transportation.
Okay.
Um, and have a book on hand or a video or something to watch to use your time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and have fun. Like, you can, people will be like, is it about the journey or the destination? Make sure it's about the journey.
Mm.
Because, I mean, honestly, not to be morbid, but you don't know if you'll make it to the destination. Like, whatever your destination is.
It's
Like,
pretty morbid.
yeah, it is, but it's true. Uh, but like, enjoy the journey that you're on. And that's still something I'm working on, because many times I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the end of this contract to get to this next contract,
Yeah.
or I can't wait for XYZ.
Yeah. Well, and that was going to be another thing I was going to ask you is like, do you ever have time, or do you ever have to make time yourself to actually like stop, pause, and soak it all in,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know? Or is it very just sometimes just tunnel vision for you?
I have to make time, like,
Okay.
because I'm so often looking into the future of
Yeah.
what's the next thing I need to do, what's the next gig I'm auditioning for, what am I striving
Right.
for?
Because I mean, it's your job, it's your career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like most of the job is auditioning.
Yeah.
That's another big tip to actors. Auditioning. That's 50%, maybe more of the job.
Hmm.
Um, and nobody really likes it, but you just kind
Right.
of you have to do it, and you need to try to get to a place where you like it. And I'm still working on that. Like I'm still trying to get to a place where I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to audition for this project."
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
And so I lost my train of thought. What was the question you asked me? I'm sorry.
This is why we're such good friends.
Yeah.
No, I was asking you, like, do you ever take time to sit back and really kind of soak everything kind of in at
Oh,
times?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so definitely it's all about making the time for it, because
Yeah.
otherwise I will just be going, going, gone for the next thing, and
Hmm.
I forget to enjoy my moments. And that's something I've, again, has been more of a recent learn. And it started in 22 when I was in Alaska. And I realized I had all these opportunities to go on all these excursions. And I was so focused on auditioning and looking for the next job that all of a sudden I forgot to have fun. and forgot that it's okay for me to not just like save and thinking about the next job and thinking about just like being financially savvy and all these things. Instead, I can be I can have fun and I
Yeah.
can do it in a smart way,
Yeah.
but I need to be enjoying these experiences because sure I'll remember the gig, but to have memories, most of my memories are about the hikes I went on and
Mm.
about the animal life I saw and about just like all the fun things I got to do, like biking throughout Alaska and going on I forget what it was called, but it was this boat that inflates and then it just like bounces on the water, but it can also go on sand. It's really fun.
Mm.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's another reason why the audio listeners need to watch this one.
The
The
gestures I make.
gestures, yeah.
Ta-da!
Um, so what it sounds, at least to me,
Mhm.
what it sounds like is uh 99, well, maybe not 99. I would say more, maybe more like 90% of your enjoyment is not at all coming from acting. It sounds like it's really kind of coming from, as you were saying, the journey and being in
Mhm.
these places and whatnot, like the hikes and whatnot. Like, yeah, you're still
Yeah.
enjoying your time on stage or on a set, but
Mhm.
it also sounds like you're like, yeah, I'm in Alaska. I'm gonna do a bike trail,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna go on this inflatable bouncy boat on the water.
With
Yeah,
the little gesture.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know, like, because I also love acting,
yeah.
and I love being able to bring characters to life and stuff. I think it all is just this package deal that I
Mm,
get, because I love my job.
yeah.
And sure, of course, I have these moments where I'm just like, oh, why do I have to go on stage again? And I'm just like, you're
Why
done
do I
with
have to do
them.
this again for the third night in a row?
Yeah. Oh man, I have to say this line
Starting
again.
to get hoarse.
There's definitely moments where it might feel like a drag, but like
Yeah,
I love it. I love creating characters. I love being able to bring this art to life. Like in my free time, I'm usually writing scripts or learning new lines or anything like that.
yeah,
But I also, exactly like you said, I love the experiences of being in the areas that I'm at. And
yeah.
so like here in Indiana, I'm loving going to beaches because I don't get to go to beaches very often and
We have
going to
beaches.
like yeah, the dunes. Have you been to the Indiana
I mean,
dunes?
I've been to the dunes, but that's really about it.
It's so cool. Well, there's that one. I gotta go to my friend's lake house in Michigan,
Okay. Oh, I like
and
lake beaches. Yeah, we got
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
those
those.
count
But
too.
like,
See, I don't get those in other places. But it's just so cool, like getting to enjoy these experiences, and or having game nights and movie nights with friends
yeah,
who I'm like, these are my friends, and these are my core group of friends for these 4 months, and then I don't know if I'll ever see them again. Hopefully, I will. Excuse me. Hopefully, I will. But it's
yeah.
like, you never know.
Do you ever feel maybe not convicted, but do you feel maybe conflicted about some of the relationships uh that you've gotten, and then you had them for a short time, but then now it's just like, all right, like, no, I haven't
Mm.
spoken to them in like 8 years or something like that. Do you ever feel conflicted about that at all, or
Not really conflicted because I'm used to it,
mm,
but I don't like it. If I could be,
like it doesn't sit well with you, or
well, for me, what I tell people is I'm like once you're friends with Joe, you're friends for life. Like, I'm sorry, you can't get out of it. You were contractually bound to be my friend
yeah,
now.
that's why you're on the show today.
Yeah. Ta-da! Because what we haven't
You weaseled your
before
way.
I did. Because
Yeah,
before this, we hadn't seen each other since 21, right? Was that when we met?
I think
I think,
maybe.
man, we haven't been friends for very long.
Yeah,
I feel like we've been friends forever.
yeah,
But that's how I feel like with most people, where it's just like I meet them and immediately like it's like bam, friends, and now
yeah.
we're friends for life. Uh, but there is something that is sad about being like, all right, well now I'm going to be out of their lives for potentially forever, potentially just for a
Yeah.
short bit.
Especially if it's like somebody that you really connect with too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, it's one of those where I think it's a sad part that comes with the territory of being a nomad. And I accept it because I think actually I love everything else about a nomadic life except
Hmm.
the fact of relationships are often not severed because I feel like they're rarely severed. I don't disown people as my friends, even if I haven't talked to them
Sure.
for like 50 billion years.
Yeah.
I look great for my age. Um, but I might not talk to a person for a long time, but in my mind I'm like, they're still my friend.
Hmm.
Um, and I hope to be able to connect with them again.
Yeah, sure.
And so it's more of just like treasuring my time and just like valuing it. And this is again where it's like that trying to live in the moment versus just being so focused on what is my future and what is the next step instead of being like, hey, I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. And so I
Yeah.
want to enjoy this moment for the people, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the word you said earlier? Accountability too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's been a very recent wake up call of how that is the part I hate about the nomadic life
Mm.
is the separation from people who I build these great relationships with. And then I'm not with them in person and having phone calls with that person every day or once a week. There's not enough time in the day
Mm.
to continue all these relationships that I've made over the years. Because at this point
Yeah.
in time, I have hundreds of friends who I have grown very close to.
Hmm.
Um, I may not be as close to them as I was last time, but I know that whenever I'm back in person with them, we'll pick up and we'll figure out where our friendship is at that moment.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's rough and you have to, for me, I've had to figure out like who are my core people who I'm like, these are my weekly phone calls who I'm going to talk to because I need them in my life.
Yeah.
And then most other people, it's kind of like, all right, it's a give and take. If they're reaching out to me, I'm going to try to latch on and be like, all right, great, we can have
Yeah.
conversations. And
Yeah.
then I might not talk to them again for another 3 months. And then they'll be like, oh, again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's not ideal, but
Right.
unfortunately, it is one thing that comes with the territory.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to dive a little deeper on the spiritual side of things. Um, have you, because I mean, you kind of spoken on a little bit about how it can get lonely, but it's not always lonely.
Mhm.
Has loneliness ever really kind of gotten to you where it's just like, man, I really feel like I just don't have any friends? And has that ever spiritually been challenging as well? Like, have you ever found yourself maybe having a little bit of a shouting match with God about it at times? Like, I just want some friends. I just want like a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I've definitely gotten into shouting matches with God.
Oh, yeah. Who
Um,
hasn't though? Yeah.
It's true. I don't think about that. It's more been like within being lonely because I've definitely been lonely. I
Sure.
and one happened actually fairly recently within the last couple months, and I was just like, I got nobody. I'm and it was just because I was like, my best friends are and like
Yeah.
my best friend is my sister and my brother, and they're in Missouri. They're kind of far away. And so I'm just like, they're the people who are the absolute closest to me, I'd say.
Yeah.
Um and so there's moments where it's just like, oh, I just want to be able to be in person with them. I want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
And it gets aggravating.
Mm.
Because then sometimes I will feel like an outcast because it's like they're doing their thing. They can hang out with whoever's in person with them. And I'm obviously not invited because I happen to live like 6 to 7 hours away and there's no way I
So you
could.
do miss a little bit of
Oh,
a social life a little bit.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't have a social life because I every single time I'm like I have a social life, but it's with different people and you can only get so
Yeah.
far in a relationship
Hmm.
with 4 months with a person. And so I think it's those building those really strong like these are my bestest friends who I share everything with and I
Yeah.
have my 5 core people. That's not something I have the luxury of having.
Sure.
Uh, and honestly, I don't know if it's something I've ever had the luxury of having, even when I did live in places,
Mm.
because I loved making friends with so many different people that it was almost like, well, this group of friends is what I talk about, this kind of thing. And I go to this group of friends and we talk about these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just kind of fluctuate based off of the friendship groups. And I'd get to talk about probably every single deep topic people normally talk about,
Sure.
or people normally don't talk about, who knows. Um, but I didn't have like one person who was always present with me physically that was like, all right, we can have this conversation about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I think it hasn't been until recently when that I've recognized that there is still a sense of loneliness of being like, oh, I'm all by myself. And just feeling that, but then the realization that God is still with me everywhere I'm going. And that all of a sudden brought this wave of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where I'm like, I don't understand how people can make it without God. Like, I think I would be depressed all the time if I
Sure.
didn't believe in God, honestly, because there's just so much sense of comfort and knowing that He's there, that He also understands me when I have trouble articulating whatever I'm thinking, and he travels with me. Like, he is my travel buddy. And is constantly watching out for me, and so I know, like, whenever I'm alone, he's still
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking. I was thinking of that verse, and it's bugging me right now because I can't remember like where it was, but I know it. I know it's real.
what is it?
Where where Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he's talking about how you will have no places, or like where I go is where you go, like that's your
Mm.
home or whatever. Gosh, I can't remember it word for word right now, but he's just like the Son of Man has no place of rest or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember that
Is that the
verse.
one where it's like you have to leave your brothers and sisters and
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
uh-huh.
yes. Yeah, see, you got it.
Yeah, yeah.
You got it.
It's like drop everything, leave it all, follow me.
Yep.
Um, yeah. And so not necessarily saying that like nomadic life is like God calls everybody to nomadic life,
Right. True.
but
Yours is maybe a little bit more personified.
yeah, yeah, it's true. But I mean, God provides so many open doors. Like, I've been able to have so many conversations with people
Mhm.
that I never would have had conversations with if I hadn't moved to this place or moved to that place.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I would have ever met these different people.
sure.
And then the amount of conversations I've had on planes with people who I'm like, I doubt I'll ever see them again. I did make a really good friend though on a plane.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he and I are still in touch.
there you
This
go.
is what, like 8 years later, 9 years later?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's possible.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll have to tell me how to do that because I remember I was on a plane to New Orleans one time,
uh-huh.
and I just looked at the guy next to me and I was just making conversation because I was by myself. I wasn't with friends or family, so I was just sitting there and I was just like, yeah, so just making conversation. So what are you going down to New Orleans for? And he was just like, oh, I got a couple business meetings I'm taking care of. It's like, cool. And then he looked at me and he was like, so what are you doing? And I got so happy because I realized in this moment I could tell him anything and he'll believe me.
It's true.
So I just went, yeah, I'm an investigative journalist. I don't know why, but it just made sense to me in my head to say that. And he goes, oh, what are you investigating? And me being dumb didn't expect a follow-up question. So I was like, if I told you I'd have to kill you. So I was just like, hopefully I played that off like smooth and joked with the guy, but like I was like, he
Oh
probably
man.
saw through my BS just now. So
He's like, liar, liar, pants on fire
yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. So one time I'm on a plane and I had been told we were doing a film where we had to use some kind of like 1930s Southern accent, I think is what it was. So it was like a very specific time frame accent.
Okay.
Uh, and we were told like we need to try to use this a couple days before we were on set, and then once we were on set, still constantly using this accent so that it would just feel very natural.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm on a plane, and I mean, I like to talk. I like to meet people. And so I decided I'm going to talk in my southern accent to the person sitting beside
Hey,
me.
that's good practice.
Yeah, it was. And so I'm talking to her in this southern accent, and she's just like, "So where are you from?" And I don't remember what I answered, but whatever I did answer, she's like, that doesn't sound like that accent. And I was just like, oh, but I travel around, and so I just kind of pick up different pieces of accents everywhere I am. So who knows what this is? I said something like that, and I was just like, what's going
I
on?
hope she buys it. Hope she buys it. Hope she buys it. Hope she buys it. Yeah.
I think she was just like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I actually I don't remember what happened after that, but yeah, it was a moment where I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do I do?
So what would you say are some of your favorite experiences that you've had?
Oh
Um,
gosh, there's so many.
just some.
Some
Yeah.
okay. Um, what kind? Okay, be more specific, because I
In what way? You
like
like
favorite
theater?
experience, like on stage, in with
Ooh.
people,
Mm.
on a set.
Okay,
What are we talking about?
with people. Like, has there
More
ever
specific.
been I don't know, something just odd or exciting that you've ever just encountered and you were like, well, that is definitely one for the storybooks and probably won't ever happen again.
I mean, I feel like there's been so many. Um, Okay, this was a sweet one that happened. So
Oh, okay.
I'm on a
Okay.
plane, and there we ended up getting delayed where we were like all in our seats ready to hit the sky.
Hmm.
And then they were like, "Oh, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Hold on one moment." 30 minutes goes by. "Oh, sorry, we are still having these delays. You can get off in the plane and buy food or whatever you want, blah blah blah."
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, he's like, because we were like, I mean, like super delayed. And the guy sitting beside me, he was an old, like middle-aged man, and he was looked over at me and he's like asked me if I wanted anything, because I was clearly staying in my seat, and I was like, "Oh, no, no, it's okay, it's fine," because
It's very sweet.
airport food's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So I was like, I'm not gonna spend my money on that. I'll
Yeah.
just starve.
It's like 7.50 for a bottle of water.
I know it's
Yeah. And
pricey.
if you try to bring one in, they shoot you at the door.
Yeah,
TSA, man, they
true.
don't play around.
It's true. And so I was just like, no, no, we're good. Maybe like another 10 minutes goes by, and then all of a sudden they're like, actually, everybody has to deboard the plane now because we have to reboard with everybody. And so we all have to get off the plane. And as we're starting to make our way back on the plane, I mean, there's lots of people complaining, and I'm just like making all these jokes and just being like, it's all good, like everything's fine. At least we get to get back on the plane, you know.
Traveling is so stressful. And just the fact that there's just this happy-go-lucky girl in line right now. Oh my
I'm sure I
gosh.
annoyed many
Oh,
people.
you had to have, yeah.
But I was just like, la di da di da, it's fine. And I was overcompensating because in my mind I was probably like, why?
Yeah,
Like I was probably stressed out of my mind, but this is my way of compensating for that.
sure.
But I get on the plane and sitting back, and everyone's slowly like filtering back on.
Yeah.
And then the guy who sat beside me, he comes back on with his food in his hand, and then he gives me a sandwich, and he's like, I know you said you didn't want one, but I just here you go. And I was like,
That's so sweet. I mean, was it like a good
it was
sandwich
a
though?
good sandwich.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
there you
yeah, it
go.
was great.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of free food on airplanes. Yeah, I've been given free candy on airplanes.
Yeah.
I got free what's it called? Uh it's an alcohol. That they have at parties. What's it called?
Tequila?
No, no.
Vodka?
No, the champagne. I got a
Oh,
free
shit.
bottle of champagne on an
We go to
airplane.
different parties.
I was thinking bougie parties.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I got free champagne because the lady sitting beside me didn't like champagne, and it was her birthday. And
Hmm.
so she was like, "You want champagne?" And oh, we had really great conversations. I got to
At 30,000 feet, sure.
yeah, I was like, "Great." But just getting to have conversations where it's like I can like getting to pray for her and pray with her and her
Really?
daughter. Yeah, it was really really cool.
Wow.
Um yeah, I could tell lots of stories about traveling and meeting people and having one day where it's like you get to be friends with that person for one day, maybe even just a couple hours,
Yeah.
and it's a meaningful time. Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
Lots of other stories about like actually being with people and stuff like that. But I would be talking your ear off and you'd be here till midnight. They're
I remember my mom loves those airplane cookies.
so yummy.
They are. We went to Hawaii for vacation.
Love Hawaii.
She just retired around that time. and she got her retirement paycheck, and she's like, I'm gonna spend it on a family vacation to Hawaii. So we're on the plane to Hawaii, and the stewardess comes up and is just like, "Ma'am, can I get you anything?" And my mom was just like, "I want cookies, and I want a lot of them." And this stewardess was so cool. She looked at my mom and she goes, "Girl, I will hook you up." I have
MVP right
Yeah,
there.
MVP right there. And I'm like sitting in the row right behind my mom, and I'm kind of like, the engine's like right there. So I'm kind of like hearing this, and I'm like, this is actually like kind of cool right now. Like they understand this is a 6-hour flight. Nobody's comfortable,
I
but
want lots of cookies.
damn it, I want some cookies. Yeah.
Your wish is my command. Here
Yeah.
you go.
And the
Cookies.
fact that she was just this universal, like to me, it was just like, okay, so there's a universal love for
Mm-hmm.
these cookies. Even the stewardesses must have them because she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hook you up. Like, here you go." So yeah, yeah,
I
it
love
was really
it.
funny. It was a good time. Um, so to wrap up, I'm gonna ask you one last question.
All right.
Um, what is your favorite color? No, I'm kidding.
Purple. It changes every day. Today it's purple.
Yeah, mine changes too.
Oh, that's
I'm more on
cool.
the soft color side though.
Oh, okay.
Green, teal, blue,
Nice, nice.
definitely in that area. Um, but what is something you are hoping um to, I guess, see moving forward um with your career in this whatever we have remainder of the year
Mm-hmm.
into next year 2026? What are your goals? What are you aspiring for here? Because you said this is your year to kind of sit in one spot.
It's
So
true. Well, to
yeah,
be perfectly honest, this year's pretty much booked.
okay,
So, goals wise, done.
done. There you
Yeah. To be
go.
booked. Um, I moving forward from there, the goal is just to, I mean, honestly, the goal is to be wherever God wants me to be. And like I have really the aspiration is just to continue making my living as an actor. I I have lots of mini goals. Um but like Broadway, Hollywood, those are honestly minor goals in my list of things to do. Like I would like to do it
Sure,
once to say, I did it.
I did it.
Yay,
Yeah,
check it off.
yeah.
But I don't want to stay there.
Mm,
And so career-wise, I really don't have any goals besides to make a living as an actor and continue doing that,
yeah.
to serve God in what I'm doing, and to have a blast. And those are my
To
goals.
have a blasty blast.
Mm-hmm.
There you
That's
go.
true.
Well, let me ask you a bit of a deeper question on that topic.
Sure.
And I don't know if maybe you've ever thought about this. Maybe you have. You probably have. What if uh what if God wants you to stop acting? What
Mm.
if God wants you to stop traveling? Are you
Yep.
okay with settling down?
I will tell you at this very second, it would be ridiculously challenging.
Hmm.
But if that's what God wants me to do, I think it will be the best and it'll be something I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Uh, but a very frequent prayer is like, God, if you don't want me to be acting, please show me where I need to go,
Mm.
because nothing sounds appealing besides acting.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't mind dabbling in other little things here and there, but really acting is what I love to do, and it's
Yeah.
something I'm good at, and yeah, I just enjoy it.
Hmm.
Uh, so if God has somewhere else for me to be and doesn't want me to stop, it doesn't want me to be acting, I don't want to be acting.
Hmm.
But I feel like it'll be like this video I actually just saw today, which is it shows someone is like the little subtitle thing is like, when God is trying to redirect my path, and it shows this dog that's being blown in the wind and being literally pushed to the side till he gets to this new path, and then he's walking along that path. That's what it's gonna have to be like, this is where you're going, and I'll
Let
be
me
like,
coax you over here a little bit. Yeah.
I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Guess I'm over here now. But 100%, I want to be wherever God wants me to be.
Yeah.
And I may not want it in that moment.
Yeah.
I'm willing to admit that. Like right now, I don't want to settle down.
Yeah. You're human.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going to
true.
be human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if God has something else for me to do, I want Him to help me want that,
Hmm.
and to and if He doesn't want me to want that, and that just needs to be my growth thing, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want that. But I do want to be wherever He wants me to be.
There you go. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you sent me a video a while back ago where it was like expectation versus reality. And it was this guy, he was just cleaning dishes, and it's like God's voice. He's like, "My child, yes, God, I want you to give up your job. Tomorrow you will apply for a new job, and it will get you more money, but you will be moving across the nation. At that place, though, you will find better friends, better life for your wife and kids, and you will enjoy the nature out there." And it's just like, it keeps going on, giving all the positive things. He's like, "Wow, thank you, God." And then it cuts to reality. "My child, yes, God, I want you to quit your job." And
Yeah.
then, like, yeah.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah, I
100%.
think you said that to me, and I was dying laughing over it because I was like, "Yeah, that's how it goes."
It's
Yeah.
true. You're like, what? What else? Are you sure? Hello?
What's step two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So go ahead and take a moment right here to look into that camera and let people know
Sure.
where they can find you on social media and all that sort of good stuff, and
Yes,
maybe some
yes.
maybe even some jobs that you got in 26 and where they can maybe come see you.
Sweet. So as for 2026, I don't know yet. TBD. But you can check out my website at www.joanna-ferbrache.com. Or Joanna Ferbrache on Instagram and Facebook.
Yay.
Or YouTube. I think I'm on YouTube too.
Are you?
Uh-huh. I think it's called Joanna Ferbrache.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll find out, and we'll we'll fix it in post. Yeah.
Exactly. Not many people have my name, so you put that in Google, you do find a lot of me. I do not speak from experience because I've never Googled myself.
I actually Googled myself one time recently, and I put like my full name, Thomas Casey Zellers, in there.
Uh-huh.
And there was me, but then there was also like two other me's. And the thing is they looked like me. It was like twins. And I was like, oh, either that's me in like an old profile that I don't ever remember creating, and I was ugly or just different. But wow, like,
Don't face shame somebody else.
oh no, I'm calling myself ugly too. I don't care. You think with this face I'd be a Hollywood star right about now?
Oh, I'm crying. I'm too funny.
Oh man, no, this has been a really cozy
Mm-hmm.
cozy episode today. So
Yeah, I've
yeah,
enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
yeah. Thanks for being on the show today, and I'm excited to see where you go next, and
Ah,
just how God continues to work in your life. So
Me
yeah,
too. Me too.
yeah, good. Well, if you like today's episode, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I am your host, Thomas Casey Zellers, and I will see you in the next one later.
Bye.